all of the grammar, all of the tenses in particular. The tenses are what we're really going to concentrate. But before that, we're also going to look at the spelling. The spelling is kind of important. So we're going to see the changes in the forms of the words. English doesn't have a lot of forms. Most words have two forms. If it's a noun, if it's a verb, they may have five different forms. So they're not a lot, but they're tricky because especially the spelling. Let's look at verbs that end in a consonant. So we will start with this consonant E problem. For example, we have hope. Okay, hope finishes with a consonant P and a vowel E. So when we add the ing, we drop the E, but when we add the ed, we just add the D. Date is the same. Date, dating, dated. Injure, injuring, injured. So if the word ends in E, you drop the E and you add the ing. In the ed, the past form, the past participle, if the word ends in the consonant E, you just add the D. You don't add another D. Verbs that end in a vowel and in a consonant. We have a one-syllable verb, stop, S-T-O-P. We have a consonant, vowel, consonant ending, so you double stopping and stopped. Both cases you are present participle, stopping, past participle, stopped. You will double that consonant. Rob, R, consonant O, vowel B, consonant, so we double robbing and robbed. Beg, the same, begging and begged. One-syllable verbs with two vowels. We have rain, R, consonant, A, vowel, I, vowel, N, consonant, so we don't double that vowel, that last consonant, so raining is just ing added. The same with ed, you just add ed. Fool, you have double vowel oo and then l, so fooling and fooled. Dream, you have double vowel ea and then finished with a consonant m. You don't double that m. Consider the last vowel and the last consonant. Those are really important. If there is not another vowel before it, the consonant is doubled. The vowel, one vowel, two consonants. So if there is another vowel before it, the consonant remains single, two vowels, one consonant. Okay, let's look at the two-syllable verbs. We have a stress marker so that you can also understand the stress, because sometimes the stress changes. Listen has the pattern. You have the consonant T, vowel E, and then the consonant N. So you don't, I'm sorry, that's two syllables, so you don't double that vowel. Listening, listened. So these are two-syllable verbs. Offer, yeah, we have that consonant, vowel, consonant, but we don't double. Offering, offered. Open, opening, opened. Begin, beginning, began. That's an irregular verb, so we don't even have the ed problem here. Prefer, preferring, and preferred. This time you double. This is kind of a irregular situation, but it also happens with control. Control, controlling, and controlled. So you just have to learn those. Those are, you have the second syllable stress. Begin, so you are doubling. Prefer, so you are doubling. Control, and so you are doubling. Offer, listen, open. So you also have to pay attention to the stress of the word. If it's one syllable, the first syllable is stressed, you have one consonant. Second syllable is stressed, it's like two consonants. It's like the one consonant verb. Verbs that end in two consonants. Two consonants. Yes, R and T, there they are, two consonants. Start, S-T-A, RT, two consonants. So what happens here? Here you have starting. You have two consonants, and so you just add ing. Same with the past participle, started. Fold. You have two consonants, L and the D, folding and folded. Demand, N and D, demanding, demanded. If the word ends in two consonants, just add the en ending. Okay, that's also the case with the one syllable, if you remember. Yes, well, we didn't see any of those. So two syllables, two consonants, you just add the ed. Verbs that end in Y. Okay, you have verbs with a vowel and a Y, something like enjoy. You have O, which is a vowel, and then a Y. So you just add ing. Enjoy, enjoying, enjoyed. Pray, praying, prayed. Buy, buying, bought. Bought is irregular, so you don't have that problem. Verbs with a consonant and Y. Study, same thing happens. You just add ing to the present participle, but look what happens to the past. You drop the Y and add IED. Same with try. You have consonant R with Y, so you have trying, but you have tried. Tried. Prayed, AYED. Tried, you have to add the I. Reply, replying, and replied. If the Y is preceded by a vowel, keep the Y and add the ED. If the Y is preceded by a consonant, the ing, you keep the Y, you add an ing, you change the Y to an I in the past form. Verbs that end in IE, these are very few. Die becomes dying and died. Lie becomes lying and lied. Those are the really only common words that end in I and E. E and I. I and E. Sorry. ED form, you add only the D. Exceptions, if a verb ends in double E, then the E is not dropped. For example, seeing. We have two vowels, seeing, you add the ing. Agree, ing. Free, ing, freeing. The double and the X are never doubled. W and X. Plow remains plowed. Fix remains fixed. Plowing and fixing. Those you can do those exercises if you have the access to the Self-Study Center. You can write a note to me if you want to join that. Simple timeline below will be used in the tense descriptions. Okay, so we have the past, then I have time here, and now. Now is the moment that I'm speaking. And then we have some more time to indicate the future. So we're just going to quickly look at the intro of some of these. Present, simple, we have the past. We have an event, a situation, an event, a situation. We have now, we have an event, a situation. We have an event, a situation. Both in the past, now, and in the future. So it snows in Alaska. That means probably last year it snowed. Now it may be snowing, and probably in the future it will snow. So this is a present simple. Tom watches TV every day. Okay, every day, you could just imagine those X's to be every day. He watches television. Water consists of hydrogen and oxygen. That always happened, and it will always happen. So that's a fact. The world is round is also a fact. In general, the simple present expresses events or situations that exist always, usually, habitually. They exist now, have existed in the past, and probably will exist in the future. It expresses general statements of fact and timeless truths. The simple present is used to express habitual or everyday activities. I study for 2 hours every night. Every night is a habit. I get up at 7 every morning. This is a habit. He always eats a sandwich for lunch. Always. Frequency, adverb, this is going to go to the simple present. That's a little intro. A little intro about the past. Here we have an X and now and nothing in the future. So it snowed yesterday. That means that it snowed yesterday. It's not snowing now. I don't even know if it will snow in the future, but Tom watched television last night. That's last night. Today is another question. At one particular time in the past this happened. It began and ended in the past. Simple future. We have the past, nothing, now, and we have the future. We have an X in the future. So it will snow tomorrow. Tomorrow is the future. So it's tomorrow. It's going to snow tomorrow. Uh-oh, we have will and we have going to. Those are both possible. We're talking about tomorrow. Tom will watch television tonight. Tonight's in the future. Tom is going to watch television tonight. That's also the future. Going to watch. At one particular time in the future, this will happen. Progressive tenses. Wow, that doesn't look good. The progressive tenses. Form be plus ing. The meaning is, progressive tenses give the idea that an action is in progress during a particular time. These tenses are used when an action begins before, is in progress during, and continues after another time or action. These tenses are used when an action begins before, is in progress during, and continues after another time or action. Now, if I just talk about now, the action began before now, it's in progress now, and it will continue after now. So let's just look at that a little closer. In the present progressive, we have this little arrow. This shows the progression. Past, this is something happening at 10 o'clock, and this is now, and this is in the future. So 10 p.m., it's 11 o'clock now. Tom is sleeping right now. Right now he's sleeping. It's now 11 o'clock. Tom went to sleep at 10 tonight or last night, and he's still asleep. His sleep began in the past, is in progress in the present time, and probably will continue. However, the present progressive tense only indicates that the action is in progress now. I cannot talk about what happened before now or what happens after. The present progressive expresses an activity that is in progress at the moment of speaking. B, I need an umbrella because it is raining. It is raining right now. C, the students are sitting at their desks right now. Right now I see them. While I'm talking, it's evident. D, I am taking 5 courses this semester. E, John is trying to improve his work habits. Often the activity is of a general nature, something generally in progress this week, this month, this year, like in F. Susan is writing another book this year. Okay, so the sentence means that writing a book is a general activity. You see, she's not actually sitting and writing right now when I say this. Maybe she writes in the morning and in the afternoon she does other things, but she does that in a regular basis, so she's writing another book. She's engaged in that. Does not mean that at a moment of speaking she's sitting at her desk with a pen in the hand. Past progressive intro. Okay, here's our little arrow. This means that the action is in progress. Here we have 10 p.m., we have 11 a.m., and now. So we've shifted in time. Tom was sleeping when I arrived. So Tom went to sleep at 10 p.m. last night. I arrived at 11 a.m. He was still asleep. His sleep began before 11 a.m. It was in progress at a particular time, 11 a.m. It continued after I arrived, after 11 a.m. The future progressive, here it is. We have this little arrow. We have the past, we have now. Here we have 10 p.m. and here we have 11 p.m. So I'll just put that 11 p.m. a little bit closer to the arrow. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so Tom will be sleeping when we arrive. All right, Tom will go to sleep at 10 p.m. tonight or tomorrow night. We will arrive at 11 at 11 p.m. Yeah, that's 11 a.m. Okay. Tom, we will arrive at 11 a.m. The action of sleeping will begin before we arrive. It will be in progress at a particular time in the future. Probably his sleep will continue. So started at 10. We arrived at 11. He, also, I think that should be probably a little bit closer to the arrow also. It should be on the 11 o'clock because that's what we're really talking about. We're talking about the 11 p.m., exactly what happened at 11 p.m. Okay. Progressive tenses are also called continuous. Present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. Let's look at stative verbs. Yum, this food tastes good. I like it very much. Very incorrect. This food is tasting good. I am liking it very much. Some English verbs have stative meanings. They describe states, which are more like conditions or situations that exist rather than actions. When verbs have stative meanings, they are usually not used in progressive tenses. In A, tastes and like have stative meanings. Each describes a state that exists. The chef in his kitchen. Letter C. The chef is in his kitchen. He is tasting the sauce. It tastes too salty. He doesn't like it. Okay, a verb such as taste has a stative meaning, but also a progressive meaning. In C, tasting describes the action of the chef putting something in his mouth and actively tasting its flavor. That's progressive. The action is in progress. D, tastes describe a person's awareness of the quality of the food. It's stative. It tastes too salty. It would be strange to say, it is tasting too salty, because you are talking about the awareness of the quality of taste. He doesn't like it. Verbs such as like have a stative. A verb such as like has a stative meaning. It is rarely, if ever, used in progressive tenses. In E, it is incorrect to say he isn't liking it. He doesn't like it. Common verbs that have stative meanings. Verbs with an asterisk are like the verb taste. They can have both stative and progressive meanings and uses. Know, believe, imagine, want, realize, feel, doubt, need, understand, suppose, remember, desire, recognize, think, forget, and mean. Those are all types of mental states, so they're quite clearly stative. Emotional states: love, hate, mind, astonish, like, dislike, care, amaze, appreciate, fear, surprise, please, envy, prefer. Those are all emotional states. Possession: to possess, to have, your own, to own, to possess, to have. Let me just make that a little bit clearer. To possess is like to have, and to own or to belong. Sense perceptions: taste, hear, see, and smell, and feel. Other existing states: seem, cost, be, consist of, look, owe, exist, contain, appear, weigh, matter, include, sound, equal, resemble, look alike. So something weighs 24 pounds. It's not weighing 24 pounds. That's kind of a state, okay? Matter. It matters. Black lives matter. You don't say black lives are mattering. Okay, am is, are, being, and the adjective. Anne is sick today. B, Alex is nervous about the exam. C, Tom is tall and handsome. Be plus an adjective: Anne is sick, Alex is nervous, Tom is tall, expresses a stative meaning. These are all statives. Jack doesn't feel well, but he refuses to see a doctor. He is being foolish. Okay, D is different. E, Sue is being quiet today. I wonder if anything is wrong. Being very quiet. The main verb be and an adjective can be used in the progressive tense. It is used in the progressive when it describes temporary in-progress behavior. In D, Jack's foolishness is temporary and probably uncharacteristic of him. Jack doesn't feel well. He refuses. He's being foolish. It would be incorrect to say Mr. Smith is being old, because this does not show some kind of state. I'm sorry, it does not show a kind of temporary progressive idea. She is always old. Age does not describe a temporary behavior. Being old cannot be used in the progressive. Examples of other adjectives that cannot be used with am, am, is, and are: being, I am angry, beautiful, handsome, happy, healthy, hungry, lucky, nervous, sick, tall, thirsty, and young. So those are adjectives that you're not going to say. I am being handsome. Adjectives that can be used with am, is, are, plus being: loud, responsible, careful, illogical, nice, rude, cruel, impolite, noisy, serious, fair, irresponsible, patient, silly, foolish, kind, pleasant, unfair, funny, lazy, polite, unkind, generous, logical, quiet, unpleasant, bad or ill-behaved, good or well-behaved. Okay, those are just some ideas of words that you can use with the ing. Okay. Wow. Let me see what happened here. I'll try to make that a little bit bigger. Yeah. And this one the same. Okay. Back to regular verbs. The simple past and the past participle end in ed. The English verbs have four principal parts: the simple form, the simple past, the past participle, and the present participle. These are the four forms, and then you have the s. You can have the s on some verbs. Yes, so you have five possible. You have the simple form: hope, hoped, hoped is also the past participle. Hoping is the present participle. So in this case, this word only has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 possibilities, because he hopes. Stop, stop, stopped, stopping. Listen, listened, listened, listening. Study, studied, studied, studying. Start, started, started, starting. So you see a lot of verbs only have 4 different, some only have 3. Well, cut, he cuts, cutting, and that's it. 3. Irregular verbs. In these verbs, the simple past and the past participle do not end in ed. Irregular verbs have irregular past forms. Okay, you probably know this. Break, broke, broken, and we have breaking. Come, came, come, coming. Notice the spelling. Find, found, found, finding. Hit, 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 hitting. Swim, swam, swum, swimming. So the final ed has 3 different pronunciations: t, d, and ed, ed, ed. Final ed is pronounced t after voiceless sounds. Voiceless sounds are made by pushing air through your mouth. No sound comes from your throat, from your vocal cords. Examples of voiceless sounds: k, p, s, ch, s, sh, f. Okay, so we have looked, look, looked, clap, clapped, miss, missed, watch, watched, finish, finished, laughed, laughed. Final ed is pronounced d after voiced sounds. Voiced sounds come from your throat. If you touch your neck when you make a voiced sound, you can feel your voice box vibrate. Examples of voiced sounds are l, v, n, b. Okay, all of those take place in your voice box. So we have smell, smelled, saved, saved, clean, cleaned, robbed, robbed, play, played, look, looked. Okay, looked, k, k, looked. Final ed is pronounced id after t, a d sound. The sound id adds a whole syllable to the word. So look is 1 syllable, looked is 1 syllable, smell is 1 syllable, smelled is 1 syllable, needed is 2 syllables, Needed. Need is one syllable. Needed is two syllables. Want, one syllable. Wanted, two syllables. Decide, two syllables. Decided, three syllables. Invite, two syllables. Invited, three. Invited. Do exercise 7. The simple past indicates an activity or a situation that began and ended at a particular time in the past. I walked to school yesterday. That's finished. B. John lived in Paris for 10 years, but now he lives in Rome. That's really finished. I bought a new car 3 days ago. 3 days ago has no connection with today. I bought it, and that's the end of the story. If a sentence contains when and has the simple past in both clauses, the action is in the when clause. The action in the when clause happens first. In D, first the rain began, second she stood under a tree. So Rita stood under a tree when it began to rain. So the second, it began to rain and then she stood under a tree. So this is how we don't say it began to rain when Rita stood under a tree. No, doesn't make sense. E, when Mrs. Chu heard a strange noise, when Mrs. Chu heard a strange noise, she got up to investigate. F, when I dropped my cup, the coffee spilled on my lap. So when you use when, the first action. Past progressive, I was walking down the street when it began to rain. H, while I was walking down the street, it began to rain. I, Rita was standing under a tree when it began to rain. In G, first I was walking down the street. Second, it began to rain. Okay, so when it began to rain, it started and then I was walking down the street. I was walking down the street as first and then it began to rain. Both actions occurred at the same time, but one action occurred earlier and was in progress when the other action occurred. At 8 o'clock last night, I was studying. Last year at this time, I was attending school. In J, my studying began at 8 o'clock. It was in progress at that time and probably continued. L, well, while I was studying in one room of our apartment, my roommate was having a party in the other room. Sometimes the past progressive is used in both parts of a sentence when two actions are in progress simultaneously. While I was studying, my roommate was having a party.